Welcome to Study Loop.
So I had some technical difficulties, and this was the solutions for this problem. So for A, you have bonds, four electron groups, three bonds, one lone pair. Tetrahedron wants to take on the tetrahedral shape because it's four bonds, and since it's four bonds, they want to get as close to 109.5 as much as they uh, as close as they can. For B, you have two bonds. Right, so you have A single bonded to an X, and then A triple bonded to another X, linear 180. For C, you have three bonds again, two single, one double. Three bonds wants to take on three electron groups, wants to get into a trigonal pyramidal shape, and it wants to get as close to 120 degrees as possible. So for this one, four electron groups, right? So two lone pairs and two single bonds. And so those four electron groups, you have two singles, two lone pairs, a V shape, and it wants to take on and bent. The reason why it's V shape and bent is because these two lone pairs will repulse or will bend if you drew like just like I've read this like linear structure, or just the molecular structure like this. If you draw it out, these two will be on top of this A, these two lone pairs, and they will bend these X's down. So you have A, and then the X's go down like this. That's why it takes on the V-shaped bent because of the lone pairs. Since it's four, similar to A, just take on a 109.5 degree. E, double bonded the A to both X's, so it's no movement because it's a double bond. So it wants to go a linear route. So there's only two electron groups or bonding, and wants to get as close to 180 as possible. For F, F is similar to A in a sense of how they written it out in the book, but it's just added one more molecule. One more molecule or one more X. So now you have five, right? And five is reference to trigonal bipyramidal, but for this molecule, you have four single bonds and then one lone pair. And let's take on the seesaw shape. And the seesaw shape is a little awkward, but it's you better understand it once you see it in a 3D format instead of flat surface, because it wants to take on two different ideal bond angles. 90 degrees axial, or like if it's talking about from here to here. At 100 degrees equatorial, if it's like this bond is going into the back, 120 is like from here to here, depending on if this was like going into the back and then this was coming out at the top. It's 120.